What's up, traders? Nick Shaheen here looking at Rocket Mortgage. A company I'm long, so I'm definitely not a hater. In fact, it is wrapped up in the AMC slash GME Reddit war with the hedge funds, like Palantir, also in and out. So they are affected by that, sometimes positively, other times negatively. But these are the ones that actually have a P&L I would bet on. In other words, I don't believe in the AMC P&L. I know some haters are going to come out of the woods and complain about me saying that, but it's fact. The P&L is in a disaster. And this one, it's not. So that's not opinion. That's fact from the P&L. So I was long at the bottom, and it rallied. I bought calls out to December. It was a long-term bet saying, okay, I am long with confidence. And this rip, it's more than a double. And along the way, I've been selling calls shorter term against them. I have another batch that expires this week. My calls are higher than the calls I own. That's how I can make it into what they call a diagonal. And so now the cost basis for the calls is even lower. Without that, they're already more than a double win for me, not counting the credits I took in against them. It's like having shares of a stock and then selling covered calls against them. Yes, when I own a call, I can use it like a covered call situation, for a covered call situation. Okay, so what do I do now? This is where I get a little bit bearish on the price action. I'm still long, but my comments are on the price action. First of all, from the entire market, we're going into a binary event tomorrow on Friday. Second of all, from the fact that so every trade has to work not in a vacuum, correct? So this, the SPY looks like it's flat, is it? So I'm going to show you something. Does this look like an obvious point of entry for the market? No. So just from that perspective, I shouldn't load up long everything, because if this one has a tizzy, it will cause everything to have a tizzy. So good stocks would fall through no fault of its own. That's the macro risk that I have to consider when going long Rocket. So Rocket is not a new company. It's newly minted on Wall Street, but it's a mortgage company. I believe that was Quicken Loans. So it has a solid P&L and it's growing. And rates being this low, there's going to be action on that, right? So, but from the chart, when a stock goes into a prior failing point, it is not an obvious point of entry. Did you hear that? I'm not saying short it or anything. I'm just saying it's not an obvious point of entry. I know it's eating into this giant gap, but there's this guy right here that is like halfway in the middle of the gap, and I don't think it's a coincidence that it failed today. Today is, what is it, 6/3, Thursday, right around that zone. It has been pivotal here and here again. It looks like they don't like this zone. Look, gap here, barely one tick, and then another gap, and then now they're hesitant going into it. It's like it's allergic or something, right? And if you look back here, it was pivotal here. And this orange line, by the way, I didn't draw it. This is the actual point of control. So in simple terms, this is where most of the action happened, literally. It's fact, not opinion. You see it? It's the highest tick. These are volume bars. These are volume bars saying when the action happened. Like here, look, a whole bunch of volume happened on the spike, but it doesn't matter because if you count all the action, most of it is right here. That's literally what this thing says. Okay, so going into all of this, it's not an obvious long. Now, most importantly, on dips, they need to keep this ascending channel. So keep the good news coming. So it's okay to fade. It's not okay to make new lows. Different time frames for different speeds. My long is into December. I have time on the clock. I'm long at 20.89, some weird, I didn't think they split, but anyway, some weird value they chose for the options. So I can sell anything above that shorter term, and that would be considered a diagonal. Why? Because literally it's diagonal. So if I'm long here, if I sell a 22 call here, it's diagonally. If I draw a line, it'll be diagonal. And that's what I'm doing. So if I wanted to start longs, today would not be the day. Shorter term, they have to deal with this candle. So if I draw a line around 21.2 and I give it a couple pennies, 19.3, you'd get a box of action. A breach of either of those sides, short term, will cause some momentum in that direction. For example, if they're able tomorrow or tonight, there's still an hour, half an hour. Wow, where the heck did the day go? So if the bulls are able to break through this, they could fill the 22. And now you see why I sold the 22 call for this week. Conversely, if the bulls lose this, 1937 exactly, wow, check this out. So tell me you don't believe in technical analysis. This was May 27th. The high was 1936. The low this morning, 1938. 2 pennies away. All right. So if they lose it, they're going to drop to here. It's not a disaster, but it's why would they want to? That's still okay, as long as they maintain a nice ascending higher low trend. So they can attack the failing points from higher positions, and then eventually the bears will capitulate and say, well, we're done. And then there would be a cup and handle, right? So here's how it would look like. It doesn't matter what you call them. There's a line they're fighting over, and if they failed here, extend it. And if they continue setting higher lows, now the range goes from this, gathers momentum, energy, and then they fight it out. If they're able to go above, sorry, and then come back and test it for footing, whoop, now they can have this much upside if they want to, right? Versus coming down to here, proving to the bears that no, we do have support, and then rebuilding the effort. Still works, but it's ideal if they can continue higher lows. If I wanted to start longs, that's my trigger, with an exit point here for short-term trading purposes. All right, that's it. No emotions, just hard facts, some strategy involved, some technical analysis, some observation, and zooming out to the SPY, which is the sandbox we're all trading. All the stocks have to trade within the prism of the whole market. Nothing trades in the vacuum. So this could be the best breakout. It could go to heck if the stock market decides to have a tizzy tomorrow because we have 1 million jobs created or something. All right, Nick signing out. Oh, if you like the stuff, that's what we do all day in the chat room. There will be a link in the description. And the room has got about 300 people now. And there are no jerks, and there are all kinds of different styles. So if you think it's only options, no, we have some future traders in there. Not everybody contributes. Some people are there all day, every day for more than a year or two, and they just don't say anything. They're there because I know they direct message me every once in a while. So trading in a group makes sense. We have hundreds of eyeballs looking, and the watch list turns huge because everybody has their own favorite, and I have to track all of them. So it's a crap ton of work for me. Therefore, it's not free. It is cheap, and you can try it for free, and the link will take you to PayPal for $0. I just want to have a door where you got to be real, willing to go through PayPal to tell me it's a real person with no cost. I use them as the doorway. 10 days, you cancel, no harm done. Signing out.